Hello there and welcome to episode 7 of my FA Cup journey. I'll start by saying this might be the best game I've been to in the competition so far. I've just parked up, ready for a game in the second round of the FA Cup. The weather is miserable outside, but it is December now, December the 1st to be exact. So hopefully there's a festive atmosphere and let the festivities commence. After a 5-minute walk from the car, I had arrived at my destination. The Select Car Leasing Stadium, or as everyone else still actually calls it, the Madejski. Named after Sir John Madejski, I, along with pretty much everyone else as it turned out, was going to be sitting in his namesake stand. The gates weren't open yet when I arrived, so I went to the fan zone and did my usual of grabbing some food. I fancied something other than your usual burger or hot dog, so I got this pretty chunky burrito. For those of you that have seen previous episodes and are wondering where's the programme, well, Reading don't actually print physical programmes anymore, so sadly I couldn't get one this round. Once inside, I went to find my seat. I've been to the Madejski a couple of times before, but not for over a decade back when Reading were in the Premier League. This time I'd be watching them take on Harborough Town from Leicestershire. A cup of tea to keep me warm, and Harborough Town were out to get themselves warm, along with new signing Sandro. Yep, the same Sandro that used to play for Spurs, who had recently signed for them after coming out of retirement. Reading, also known as the Royals, were out shortly after. As I mentioned earlier, everyone except the away fans were in the stand. Well, bar anyone in hospitality. You couldn't select a seat outside of the stand when booking, so I guess they weren't expecting a big crowd. It was almost time for kick-off. The Harborough Town fans were in good voice, getting a wave from their manager there. Out came the teams. Reading are currently in League 1, which is the 3rd tier, while Harborough Town are in the Southern League Premier Division Central, which is part of the 7th tier, with Harborough being the lowest ranked side left in the competition at this point. Sandro had made the starting lineup for his first game since joining Harborough, and they got us underway. The first chance fell to Harborough, indicating early on that they were going to be a danger from set pieces. The game then fell into a pattern of Reading attacking, with the away side defending doggedly. Then Harborough got another corner, with Reading failing to learn from the previous one. The underdogs had an early lead, their fans in raptures. Back underway, it didn't take long for the home side to draw level, equalising just 2 minutes later. Back underway again, Harborough quickly won a throw-in. And we're back in front just a minute later. Three goals in just over 3 minutes. Crazy stuff. Back underway again. The away side had a good chance to pull even further ahead, but the header was wide. Oh no, Sandro was down injured. You won't be surprised to learn that he was fine. There were decent chances for both sides during the remainder of the half, but when the whistle went for the break, it was Harborough who had the advantage. The teams back out for the second half. We got underway yet again. Reading started the half the more threatening of the two sides, but Harborough weren't without their own chances. Unfortunately for them, Reading made their superiority count, equalising for the second time in the 59th minute. Back underway. Harborough had a great chance to go in front again, but none of their players in the box could get the vital touch. Reading went up the other end, and just 6 minutes after drawing level, they were ahead for the first time in the match. The away side made a few changes before getting us back underway yet again. 10 minutes later, there was some more hope for Harborough, with Reading being reduced to 10 men after this challenge was deemed a second yellow by the ref. They had 15 minutes plus injury time to make this advantage count. Reading were on the back foot as Harborough put the pressure on. Then, with 15 minutes of normal time left, this happened. They'd done it! The fans were delirious. 3-3 with just over 5 minutes left. Extra time was looming. But could Harborough nick it? Back underway. An overly excited away fan decided to run onto the pitch to try and give the Harborough manager a hug. Don't do it, kids. It's not worth it. A corner for the away side. They couldn't. Could they? The fans thought they had for a second, but somehow the header hit the side netting. How has he missed that? There was one last chance for Reading as well, but the striker fluffed the shot, and that was the last bit of action before extra time. The Harborough Town players rallied themselves before extra time kicked off. Great finish, but he was offside. No such issue with the next time the ball hit the back of the net, with the 10 men of Reading taking the lead in the 93rd minute. Back underway for what seemed like the 100th time, the Harborough defenders couldn't get a tackle in here, and it proved costly. Reading now had a 2-goal lead. Back underway. Not much else happened in the first half of extra time. The second half of extra time underway, the travelling support was screaming for another red card here, but the ref was not interested. The away players were starting to look a bit leggy, and with the home keeper sparing the defenders' blushes here, the whistle was blown for the final time. The Harborough Town players and staff received great applause from their fans, and rightly so. They had pushed Reading hard. 8 goals, 1 red card and extra time. What a game. That was the second round done for me. After all that, as usual, it's now time to talk about prize money. How much did each club receive in prize money for the second round? Reading received £75,000, which was a 67% increase on the previous round, while Harborough Town received £20,000, which was a 33% increase on the previous round. At the time of recording, the third round draw has already been made, and there are a few games I've got my eyes on already, but I'll just have to see if I can get a ticket to any of them. Birmingham City, who I saw in the last round, won their game away at Blackpool, meaning they're also through to the third round along with Reading. That's all for this episode. Have a good one, and I'll catch you next time.